gosh, what an absolutely massive play to start the game.
Is he going to get the one shot? He gets the one-hit KO!
Hey there everybody, welcome back to Fight for First. Today is our second day of this week, and what this means is that we've got another battle for you, on the DS. So, I did say last time, we were able to rank all the way up into the top 10, and I had played those on my own time, so this kind of battle is a little bit different. I saved the battle recording, and I'm going to walk you through the steps. I had to really focus while playing, so that's why I did it like this. And I mean, it won't happen all the time, just for the rest of this week. But I just wanted to make sure we got into the top 10. So here we're at 1833. My fellow friend here from Japan is in 1905. He was low 1900s. And I was looking at his team, and this is the second game in a row. We're looking at a Tailwind Sylveon kind of duo. And I'm just like, oh my god, my team just does not really have a great way to deal with it. Last time, as you saw, against the Pikachu guy, I brought the Bisharp. I brought the Bisharp, and it ended up just switching in to get KO'd. So this time, instead of that, I decided to bring the Conkeldurr. I thought it would help me against the Kangaskhan. I'm not going to spoil anything, but we're going to see how that Conkeldurr does. Okay, so imagine 1833 here, trying to climb to the top 10, which is 1900. This is a 1905 guy from Japan. So we're gonna start off, and I really wish you could see all 6 of his Pokemon, because my leads make sense sometimes. I mean, this is a very common lead I go with for this team, just because Tailwind up on the first turn is really great, and Landorus can intimidate and stuff my opponents. So this is good. So far, pretty decent lead for myself here. You have Intimidate on both of his Pokemon, the potential Rock Slide to KO the Talonflame, the potential Superpower, which has a chance to KO the Kangaskhan depending on the investment. My Tailwinder up on the field can match his Tailwind if he decides to Tailwind. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, he's probably got Fake Out maybe. And then the Talonflame, probably either going to Tailwind or switch out. If it's one of those rare Will-O-Wisp ones, he'll go for the Will-O-Wisp, and I would be a little bit behind. But that's a little bit rarer to see on the Talonflame. And if he does that, then I'm going to get up my Tailwind too. And still the Rock Slide's going to do pretty decent damage, and I can switch to Superpower later if I want. So I figured, do I Superpower or do I Rock Slide with Landorus? I'm Scarfed. I have to pick one or the other. Kangaskhan probably is not going to want to take that Superpower, so he's either going to Fake Out Landorus or switch. So I opt for a Rock Slide here. Mostly because getting rid of the Talonflame would be great, because I have that Conkeldurr in the back. If he does go for a Tailwind, and he fakes out my Landorus, I definitely want to match that Tailwind, so I'm going to elect to go with a Tailwind on my Togekiss, and if he fakes out the Togekiss, then at least I take out the Bird, the Talonflame, and they're still both at minus, the Kangaskhan will still be at -1. So I opt to Rock Slide, Tailwind to match his potential Tailwind, and then take whichever fake out happens. What he does, he withdraws the Kangaskhan because he doesn't want to take the Superpower. Maybe he's running Protect Kangaskhan, and he switches into our good buddy Sylveon. Now, what did we see last time? Tailwind Tornadus, Hyper Voice Choice Spec Sylveon. Guess what? There's the Tailwind. Here's the Sylveon on the field already. So it's a good thing I didn't Superpower. I'd be a -1 attack, -1 defense. Locked into Superpower against 2 things it's not going to do anything to. And like Sylveon would have eaten that up, and I would have probably ended up losing this game if that was the case. Instead, he sets up his Tailwind. My Choice Scarf Rock Slide's going to go off. He has the Chardy Berry, which means he will survive. So it makes a little bit more, makes some sense as to why he decided to leave this in and just go for the Tailwind. I get a little bit of damage onto the Sylveon, which is going to be important later. And I'm going to match his Tailwind with my Tailwind. So at least now we're still faster than that Sylveon, because we're all on the same speed tier right now. We will be for the next 4 turns. I'm locked into Rock Slide. Rock Slide's got, what, a 30% chance to flinch. Last time we saw a Sylveon, it actually outsped my Togekiss, even though it's like 20 base speed slower, which is really odd. That usually doesn't happen. It must have not been a very defensive Sylveon, and by not very defensive, like no defense, just special attack and speed. Here, another Rock Slide traps the Talonflame. He could try to do some damage right now at -1, but I mean, he's going to lose it. And if I get the Rock Slide and I hit the Sylveon and I Air Slash it, because I think I should be faster, that's a pretty decent chance it's not going to move. It's a 60% chance flinch from Togekiss, 30% from Landorus. So it's a pretty decent chance it wouldn't move. So instead of switching out and just taking a Hyper Voice, I figure, hey, let's do the damage, have a good chance of actually getting, you know, a flinch off. The Talonflame goes down without even doing anything. He should have just Brave Birded there if he was just going to let it go down. Here comes the Air Slash, and I'm really hoping I can keep it from moving, because odds are pretty overwhelmingly in my favor. It doesn't get to do anything this turn. However, it doesn't get flinched, and it gets off the Hyper Voice. So, looking at that, remember last time our Togekiss got crit? This time, we take, what is that, 84? We can take another one of those, not a big deal. And if someone dips us a little bit, you know, tries to priority something onto Togekiss, the Citrus Berry will heal us back up and we're going to survive. So Togekiss is going to be out here probably for another turn, barring, you know, a Kangaskhan return or something. Landorus is going to go down, and if he switches in the Kangaskhan, which we have seen, he has the Sucker Punch lock down on Landorus. So if he switches in Kangaskhan, Landorus is for sure going down. I'm not going to switch my non-Mega Kangaskhan without the defensive boosts of the Mega Evolution into that Hyper Voice. I'm not going to switch my Conkeldurr into it. He'll have the Landorus locked down and then have a single target damage on the Togekiss. That's what I think he's sending in right now. Instead, he sends in this Latios, okay? Now, spoiler alert. We're both same speed tier right now, and I'm looking at Latios. I know Latios is fast, but I'm like, I'm scarfed. So I probably going to go first, barring the fact that he's also scarfed himself. I don't see a lot of Latios. I guess it kind of makes sense, because what, they could run HP Ice and outspeed Landorus, so it's actually kind of a cool Pokemon to run right now. It's not as popular as it was in 2013, but right now it could be a niche pick. The thing is, if he doesn't outspeed me, I get off the Rock Slide, I can double into the Sylveon, which probably specs, and then get rid of it and get some chip damage under the Latios. That's what I'm hoping. I said if he is scarfed, I definitely still don't want to switch anything into the Sylveon, so might as well just let the Lando go down and then Air Slash it and either get the KO or hope for a flinch. He goes first, so yes, he's scarfed. Now I know he's scarfed, so that's important for later. Takes out the Landorus, and I'm like, okay, Togekiss, do it for me. Flinch or KO. It's going to be a close damage roll, and it's alive, and it doesn't flinch. And I'm looking at myself like, now I'm about to take a single target Hyper Voice, and that's way more powerful than when it's doubled. I mean, if you have a dual target, like regular Hyper Voice, it's only 75% of its power against both of the teammates or something like that. I don't know. But single target, it gets full power. I'm looking at this like, oh god, can I take this? Can I take this? Oh. This is why every single EV and IV is very important on your Pokemon, guys. Very important. Togekiss is going to survive with 1 HP and heal back up with the Citrus Berry, which is awesome, awesome, awesome for me. So now I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, he's got like basically a 1 health Sylveon. He's got this Scarfed Latios into Psychic. I have a supremely damaged Togekiss, Asvest, Conkeldurr in the back, who could Mach Punch the Sylveon and then take the Psychic. Or I can send out my Kangaskhan and power up Punch, because we're all the same speed. Last time when we were in the situation, he was in Trick Room, or he was in Tailwind and I wasn't, so I would have had to have Sucker Punch to KO him. But now I could send out the Kangaskhan, outspeed the Sylveon, and power up Punch for free, because he's either gonna have to switch or he's gonna have to take it. So I like to go with the Kangaskhan because I know he has a Kangaskhan in the back. I'd rather keep my Conkeldurr healthy, boost my Kangaskhan, and if I can keep Togekiss alive, I can win this game with a single boost. So Kangaskhan comes out. Remember, I don't run Fake Out, so instead of trying to go for a Fake Out, I'm actually gonna go for a flat power up Punch onto the Sylveon. Now, unlike last time, this dude actually tries to save his Sylveon. The last guy just, remember, straight up attacked me. We got the boosts, but we took a lot of damage to Kangaskhan. But I do predict that this Latios is going to try to finish off my Togekiss because he doesn't want to deal with the Follow Me later. So for this turn, I actually attack the Sylveon, leaving my Kangaskhan wide open, and protect the Togekiss because I want that Follow Me for later. He switches out. Now, I'm about to go Mega and Power Up Punch his non-Mega Kangaskhan, and without those defensive boosts, the Power Up Punch actually does quite a bit of damage. It's pretty powerful, and this is still, don't forget, this is a Jolly Kangaskhan, so an Adamant one would even have done, like, you know, a little bit more, which in the end might have mattered a little bit. You'll see. Togekiss here to protect, because I'm fairly certain he's going to try to finish off the Togekiss. He can't switch both because he's already lost one Pokemon. The Psychic does fly off into Togekiss, which I protected, and I get a +2 right here while doing half of this guy's health right now, just right off the bat. Boom, from a Power Up Punch. That's incredible. This is great. So we get the 2, okay? What am I thinking to myself? He's got Fake Out on his Kangaskhan probably, because almost all of them do right now. So what if I were him, what would I do? Well, I'd be afraid of that Kangaskhan. You know, I'd be afraid of my own Kangaskhan because I could Sucker Punch his Latios, right? And his Latios still wants to take out my Togekiss. We're still all in the same speed tier. So I'm anticipating the Fake Out coming onto Kangaskhan and him trying to finish off my Togekiss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to protect my Kangaskhan for that Fake Out. I'm at full health. It's a +2 Kangaskhan. I mean, worst comes to worst, you take out my Togekiss. I think, are you in Mach Punch range of Conkeldurr? I don't know. I just put on Conkeldurr a couple, games ago. So I don't have a lot of experience with how much damage that's going to roll. But it looks like it could be pretty close. It's Stab, Mach Punch. Conkeldurr's got pretty big attack. It's max attack Adamant. I don't want to switch into the Psychic, even though I'm Assault Vest, not just yet. I really just don't have any reason to, try to save this Togekiss right now. So I'll protect Kangaskhan from the Fake Out, and I'm going to try to second protect onto Togekiss, because honestly, even if I attack, there's no way I'm going to get off an attack. My only hope here is to try to hit that 30%. If I hit it, I'm in a way better position than I am right now. If I don't, well, I was going to lose it anyway. I really don't want to switch in my Conkeldurr. So it's not worth it for me to even Air Slash, Tailwind, anything. It's worth it to just go for that double protect, because he's gonna fire off that Psychic there no matter what. That's just how this turn's going to go. So I go, both of our Tailwinds peter out. He goes to Mega as I protect my Kangaskhan. And he's going to Psychic the Togekiss. It's very straight up. He just doesn't want the Kangaskhan to KO the Latios yet, and he knows he has to get rid of the Togekiss or else I'm going to follow me. So that's why he doesn't double into my Kangaskhan or anything. I try to go for the double protect. Doesn't work. Fake Out was for Kangaskhan. Psychic was right into the Togekiss. So I was right on that regard. But I'm sitting here thinking I'm not in a lot of trouble. Because I have this Mach Punch Conkeldurr full health Assault Vest, right? I know the Latios is locked into Psychic and it's Scarfed. I think even if he switches and I go for a Sucker Punch, my Mach Punch will get the Kangaskhan, and then I can Mach Punch the Sylveon and I can Sucker Punch the Latios for the win. That's what I'm thinking. So Sucker Punch the Latios here. If he attacks, it goes down. If not, Sylveon comes out. My Mach Punch takes out his Kangaskhan before he can hurt me. And then we win the game no matter what. What ends up happening though is my Sucker Punch does go off. He elects to attack. I'm not sure if he was thinking too complicatedly, like too far ahead. Like, no, there's no way I'd Sucker Punch because obviously he's going to switch. I decided to myself before this turn that even if he switched, I was going to get the KO with Conkeldurr. That was what was important to me. As long as that, I locked it down. He can't switch right now. The Mach Punch would get him. Sucker Punch easily takes out a Latios. I go for the Mach Punch. Boom. And it just barely survives. And so, I'm not sure how many of those were damage rolls or whatever, but now I have a pretty good eye for how much that Mach Punch is going to do going into these future games. That being said, once that kind of damage did that, I know he's got Fake Out. He doesn't have Protect. He goes for a low kick on my Kangaskhan. I have like a 45% chance to survive. I do survive, and once I survive here, game's automatically over. Let's run a different scenario, though. Let's say he doesn't switch up the Latios. I Sucker Punch it, he loses it, but he gets the KO on the Kangaskhan. Well, both of these things can't protect him, this Kangaskhan, the Sylveon. I Mach Punch the Sylveon for the KO, take one turn of damage, and then Mach Punch the Kangaskhan for the win. So, granted, he doesn't crit me with a return or something. We had the win. If he switched the Latios out of the Sucker Punch, and I don't get the KO with the Mach Punch, and he gets the KO on the Kangaskhan, that's the way I was going to lose. That was the only way I was going to lose, because then I don't have enough priority to win the rest of this game. He's probably, well, he's Jolly, so we might have a Sucker Punch war going on right now. Well, I'd just protect here, and I'd Mach Punch the Sylveon, and I could Sucker Punch and Mach Punch again to win. So his best bet was to switch out the Latios, and then hopefully that my Mach Punch doesn't KO and his low kick does KO. But a lot of things actually end up rolling my way, so the game looks a little bit more one-sided in the end, but it really could have been a lot closer if that hadn't, KO'd. So calling the fact that the Latios was going to attack that turn, that was great. I really just thought I had the game locked down with the Mach Punch. It was really close. A lot of close damage rolls in this game. The Sylveon first surviving just barely, attacking through a 60% flinch in the Rock Slide, and then a following 60% flinch. So good luck on his side there. And then my Togekiss surviving with 1 HP from the single target Hyper Voice. Good luck on my part there. And then that Kangaskhan surviving just by a sliver of health. So all that made this game really, really close. This game bumps us up to like 1850-ish, I believe. This is all from like remote memory, like 1857 or something. It's right around there. But yeah, So we're well on our climb back into, to get to that top 10. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope the play-by-play is helpful. Like I said, I won't do this always. I think there's a lot of knowledge to be gained from play-by-plays like this, but there's also a lot of entertainment value from doing it real time and other knowledge. You have different kinds of knowledge. One hindsight, one foresight. But yeah, so thanks so much. Hope you guys are enjoying. Don't forget to always let me know if you guys are enjoying something or not. I read your comments. I do. I really do. And it's important to me. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.